just hit me out of nowhere. Back to the point where I was watching a video where and the researchers is on how hierarchy and people who or animals or people who are up in the hierarchy kind of have low cortisol, right? Low stress, right? Which is adrenaline and glyco. It's not, I'm getting closer to it, actually, right? Glycocortisol, or something like that. And so what the researcher had found out is that the people that the bamboos were upper in the hierarchy, or basically established as neutrality, right? So that the bosses tend to show lower cortisol, but at the same time their dopamine level. So I'm wondering if they learn that it is good to be aggressive, right? So then it rewards them with dopamine to be aggressive, and so maybe I just thought of this right now, right? It's like I'm like talking about it, and then my brain just goes like subconsciously, I would say, like it just gives me. So then, what if like it substitutes these hormones for dopamine, right? So if it's becoming stimulus, a rewarding stimulus, then it becomes it gives the individual a dopamine, right? And so it rewards the different regions of the brain, right? So the what is that? The hypothalamus, the hypothalamus, which is I think that's the reward system, or is it one of the reward systems, right? But I think there's two reward systems in the brain, like physical, right? And then there's lots of classes collaborating together, information for learning. I'm dead. Wow. Who would have known? One second as I possibly defeat what's going on. Okay, wow. What happened? Did that Waters. So what is going? I don't know if you guys are listening or if it's recording or not, but I'm talking about how hierarchies, how people and animals up in the hierarchy, just basically like boss of their environment, tend to display lower cortisol levels, right? Not cortisol, but just stress levels, stress hormones. I believe one of them is adrenaline, and the other one I can't pronunciate just yet. It's called glycocortisol or something like that. Glycocortical, glycocortical. something like that. I don't know, but so basically, I'm thinking what's going on is that maybe there's something inside of us, brain, wherever these things are being precursored at, or just being developed at, and then it takes a chain reaction for a bunch of these things to come together. For such as, for example, that we could consume something, and the gut breaks down these nutrients, these minerals, right? Basically, the stomach breaks them down, goes into our intestines. These our intestines absorb the different minerals and nutrients that are coming from these things that we eat. Thus, it's processed maybe in the liver. The liver's like, okay, I'm gonna get rid of the toxins, and store some of this other stuff, whatever it may be, and then it's like, okay, you're fit to go to whatever body part you want to go to, limb, organ, whatever it may be, right? Um, so then that's when it comes out the liver, then it's like, oh, like, hey, you got iron, okay? Well, I'm gonna send iron to the heart because the heart needs iron in order for it um, to spread oxygen throughout the blood, right? And throughout the right throughout the bloodstream. So then it routes these different minerals, different nutrients across wherever it needs to go. So so basically, um, what if there's like uh, a count number to how much an individual can produce um, during any type of arousal, right? And arousal can mean like a state of fear, happiness, these different emotions, right, that we go through, and feelings and moods, right? Fear, anxiety, happiness, joy, whatever. But the basics are anger, sad, and happiness. And then everything else stems from them, or which I believe or think, that's what it goes, right? You got these sub regions of these different feelings and moods and emotions that we express as humans. So basically, what I'm saying is that uh, what if these people are in the higher, basically the bamboos that I was talking about, that are in the hierarchy, they they said like, oh, like, I'm gonna trick myself into believing, if not trick myself, I'm going to like be aware that this rush of this like aggression, this like whatever it may be, just constitute pleasure, right? And so instead of instead of these hormones, right? These stress hormones getting into the bloodstream, right? A bunch of it, it is tricking itself into like saying, "Hey, I don't need that. I don't need these stress hormones. Instead, give me a neurotransmitter. Give me a bunch of different not a bunch of different, but give me a bunch of dopamine. Give me a bunch of dopamine so that way it doesn't get clogged inside my bloodstream, right? These plaques, these buildups inside of our arteries, inside of our blood vessels, our our are not blood vessels, but I guess maybe blood vessels. I don't know, but things that just carry oxygen throughout the body, right? And so uh, I think it's difficult for the body to break down these stress hormones, thus causing it to get blocked in certain areas, certain regions, um, which potentially causes like people to get uh, fat, right? And I'm wondering, why does it go majority, not majority of it, but like um, it's expressed, right? You can like, well, I guess that was what the video was about, right? Where it's like you could tell. not tell, but like there's definitely a way to say like, hey, this animal, such as the baboon, has has high cortisol, or basically has a high intake of these hormones, right? Adrenaline and uh, what was it? The glyph the glyph the cortical whatever, right? These two different hormones, and and it's possible to identify them because of the belly fat, right? So why does it go to the belly? That's my question. Like, have researchers identified why these stress hormones enter the bloodstream and end up like residing in the belly? Like, is that because like it's trying to say, hey, like I'm trying to metabolize you, right? Um, I'm trying to metabolize you, but you're not getting into the region, right, where it's supposed to be metabolized. That's the liver, the kidneys, right? These are places where things get filtered out from, or filtered out at. So pretty. It's, I don't know. These are just assumptions, theories that I have yet to hear any answers about that I've been having, right? There's probably solutions already to things that I am talking about, but I yet to come across, right? Because I'm just um, a person at a lower level of education, right? So hopefully, um, as I progress through some of these courses to get a degree, um, that I would be able to identify what I'm talking about. Be like, oh man, like that's what I've been saying like a year ago, 2 years ago, possibly, right? Um, but yeah, I don't know. I think I basically, what from what I learned, there's different variables, and that's why it's kind of hard to identify things, because it to me it kind of seems like everything, not everything, but a lot of um a lot of things are big, that are kind of like, how would I say, that are that that come to light, right? Such as, like, I don't know, like diseases, or these stress hormones, right? Um, there's different things, variables, different. That's why I say things, right? Because it's a variable. Um, that can possibly be causing it. There's I don't think you can, not just yet, we can narrow it down and say, hey, this is what it is. Um, so in that sense, um, oh, um, because it could be like the environment, it could be the upbringing, it could be like the genetic encoding that allows us to be more or less, uh, anything in between, stressed out. So it's just it's it's kind of, there's a bunch of variables, and to eliminate these variables, I think that's why we don't understand things the way we are. It's like, well, that thing's just getting in the way of what we're trying to represent, what we're trying to establish, thus thus not giving us the full understanding. But as soon as we like challenge these interference, such as these variables that are supposedly making the whatever our point freaking invalid, then that's when we were truly gonna understand things. Until then, we're gonna be hitting and missing in a lot of different things. So can't exclude stuff. That's why it's there. You can't just say, "Oh, well, I don't like the way it's changing or shaping things that that I like or that I want my results to show, or just complicated things." You can't. You're not supposed to get rid of those. You identify them, and then you find a way to solve it. So yeah, it's a understanding things is pretty difficult, but if we can possibly get a grasp on just some of the things that make things cloudy, possibly this person kind of picks me up. But yeah, that's what I was thinking. I feel like I'm gonna be going live a lot because I'm gonna be constantly thinking. And I just don't want I don't like other people copying my ideas, right? I feel like there's some system out there that allows someone to either one read my thoughts, or if there's like a camera in my house that is recording um, things that I do, not things that I do, but just things that I say, and so they try to like uh, be like, oh, no, like I'm not gonna give credit to Michael, like yeah, like we listen to him think of it, but um, since he didn't fully like commit to it, then it's our idea, right? Or we like his idea, we're gonna copy him, and so since he doesn't know, we're not gonna give him credit for it. But yeah, so signing off. Should we continue some other time? Later.